Welcome back to the realm. I'm RealmiteRay, here with another video on Wednesday of Welcome back to the realm. I'm RealmiteRay, here with another video on Wednesday, of course, and today I am here with part 2 of the Scorch Trails book and movie comparison. So, where I left off, where did I leave off? Brenda and Jorge. So in the book, when they meet Brenda and Jorge, oh, you know what? I don't even remember what happened in the book. It was such a long time ago. That's awkward. Let's pretend I know what happened in the book, or that I remember. In the movie, how they meet Brenda and Jorge is basically, I think I explained it, but the whole lightning thing, them running across the desert into a building, that's basically how it happens. Minho getting struck by lightning and all that. So they meet Brenda and Jorge, and they're trying to convince them to help them find the right arm, the safe haven, whatever you want to call it. Well, the right arm and the safe haven are two separate things, but in the movie they're not racing to the safe haven, they are going to the right arm. They're trying to find them, but apparently the right arm's a myth. But continuing on, so Jorge and Brenda decide they should help them and whatever. Well, mostly Jorge. Brenda's a little against it at first, but we'll go with Jorge because they're close and whatever. So they join them, but they get attacked by Wicked in the building. So they zipline across to the other building, but Thomas and Brenda get caught up and don't make it with them, and so they end up in the sewers, actually separated from the group, and they try and look for the source to try and find the right arm. And that is basically at a house full of drunk people who are diseased, who are catching the flare. Basically, it's a madhouse. That's how I would explain it. So, they find the guy at the madhouse. Well, they don't find him. The host says that he's inside and that they have to drink some kind of liquid to grant access inside. So they do that, which basically the guy drugged them. So that happened. But they end up finding the guy. But Thomas passes out. Oh, well, honestly, what happens is they decide to split up to look for the guy in the madhouse. They split up, try to look for the guy. While the whole process is happening, the drug is kind of taking over their body, like a drug would, really. And slowly, Thomas's vision gets fuzzy, he gets lightheaded, he is, like, pretty much high, I would say it. And he runs into Brenda again, and Brenda's basically lost her mind. So they end up saying a few, Brenda ends up saying a few things like, let's just enjoy the party and whatever. And they end up kissing, and Thomas pulls away saying that it's not her. Her as in Thomas saying that Brenda is not Teresa. So after that whole situation, Thomas passes out, and he wakes up, like on some kind of blankets or whatever, with Jorge, with the host of the party tied up in a chair, with Jorge basically beating the living shit out of him, while Brenda's on a couch, Newt's chilling, don't know where. Minho is also chilling, like the whole gang is back together basically there because they found them. Because, like I said earlier, they were separated. So Thomas wakes up to basically Jorge beating the living shit out of the host, trying to get information on where the right arm is. So they set out, they get the information about the right arm. This is still in the movie, by the way. They get their information about the right arm, and they set out to go, and they end up finding the right arm in basically in the middle of nowhere, but they don't find them in a friendly way, more like the right arm attacks them at first. But basically the right arm is a group of people who are fighting against Wicked, and a few of the people, you know how I said that there were more than one maze, how the girls? There was an all-girls maze with one boy, while the one I'm talking about, the all-boy maze with the girl. So a few of the girls are part of the right arm, they escaped and whatever, and Eris happens to be friends with those, because they were in the maze together, in their maze together, so they don't get shut down because of Eris knowing them, so that's at least a good thing. So they get there, they get to the safe place of where the right arm is, and basically during that time, before that, this is a little bit back, right after Brenda and Thomas get out of the sewers, Brenda gets clawed by Crank, and so throughout the whole process of them in the Madhouse to where they are now at the right arm, she's slowly becoming diseased. She slowly gets the flare, and so they're at the right arm, and she basically collapsed on the floor. So the right arm say that they should kill her, so none of them get disease and it doesn't spread or anything. She doesn't go insane and attacks them. But Thomas convinces them to not kill her, and so the doctor at the right arm basically gives her not the cure exactly, but it slows down the process of the flare kind of taking over her brain and her body. So and they figure out that the right arm was getting information from someone. They did not know who the someone was, but they were on point every single time. And so when they get to the right arm, they figure out that Thomas was the source. Thomas was the one feeding them the information. No idea. No one knows how Thomas was able to do that. Thomas himself doesn't even know. But flashbacks happen, and he figures out why, and that was because right before he went into the maze, basically he sent coordinates to them and everything. I think that's the whole point. That was the whole concept of that part of Thomas being the messenger in a way, the source for the right arm's information of where Wicked Labs are and where they can find them, tracking and everything. So after they're at the right arm, they're all safe, they're all catching their breath from the whole journey across the Scorch. And so Thomas is sitting with Newt, Minho, and Frypan on a mountain, just a little bit off from the right arm camp. And Thomas asks where Teresa is, and Newt says that Teresa is up on a mountain, the mountain beside them on the cliff. So Thomas goes up to her and they talk, and Teresa says that she called on Wicked and told them their location, and Thomas couldn't believe it, but when he looked over the horizon where she was looking, he could see the helicopters, the planes, coming for them in their direction. And Thomas immediately is he is horrified in a way of what Teresa did, because she basically betrayed them in a way. So Thomas runs on the mountain trying to warn everyone, but he doesn't get there in time, and soon they're basically getting attacked. And this is like the final scene. And so they're fighting. This is still in the movie, just like to remind you guys that. So they're fighting. They're losing. Actually, it's a really good fight, but they're losing, and slowly they are getting captured one by one until at one point all of the people in the right arm are on the ground on their knees, lined up in rows, and Wicked is counting them off, seeing that they have each and every one of them. And the doctor stands up to Wicked, basically, saying that they'll never get this done, it's impossible, it's cruel, whatever, and they shoot her in cold blood. And the leader of the right arm is completely destroyed about the Wicked killing the doctor, because I'm pretty sure they were a thing, but I'm not entirely sure. But he was horrified, and kind of was sad at that part, but you know, things happen. So they don't know where Thomas is. Thomas was hidden behind one of the trucks, along with Brenda and Jorge. Those three were not seen when when Wicked was gathering everyone and finally getting everyone together and counting them off, seeing who's Wicked property and everything. Well, they're all Wicked property. They're making sure that they have everyone. And so Jorge basically suggests that Thomas should go with Brenda and him, because they don't want to get caught. But Thomas disagrees and says that he will not go with them. He'd rather try and save his friends and be with them instead. So Brenda and Jorge go off, while Thomas takes Jorge's bomb, and so basically he takes the bomb and he's hiding it, of course, and he basically gives in to Wicked at the end, only so his plan works. He planned to use the bomb as kind of like a negotiation item, so he gets captured, and so when they're bringing Thomas over to the airplane, he basically shoves the two people holding his arms away from him, and he pulls out the little trigger to the bomb, and he basically threatens them that if they don't do something, if they don't let them go or whatever, he'll blow up the place, and he'll kill everyone in there. And well, Wicked basically thinks he's insane at this point, but his friends stick beside him. They're just like, you know what, we're willing to die now. We've been through some shit, and you know, we're happy to die right here, right now, by our friend's side. But right before Thomas is about to push the button to ignite the bomb, Brenda and Jorge come out in a truck and basically start another fight. And so this fight is shorter in a way. Everyone from the Glade, so that means Newt, Frypan, Thomas, just them, and Minho, basically get away, because Wicked half-loaded everyone onto, they loaded half of the people onto the plane, along with Teresa, because she betrayed them. And so Thomas fell or whatever, and Minho had a gun and he was fighting back. He told Thomas to go or whatever, and that he'll be right there. So Minho turns around to start running, and he gets shocked. He gets tasered in the back, and he can't go on. He collapses on a box, and Thomas wants to go after him, but Newt and Frypan and Eris, I forgot to mention him. Eris and the girls and a lot of people stayed and didn't get put on the plane, but Thomas wanted to go after Minho and save him before Wicked got to him, because he was laying on a box in between Thomas and Wicked. So Minho was right in the middle, laying on a box unconscious. And Thomas wanted to go after him, but Newt and Fry Pan and Eris held him back, saying that they'll get him and whatever. So the two people from Wicked, two of the guards, go up to Minho, take him, and board him on the plane, and they leave. So at the end of the movie, Minho gets captured, and Thomas swears that he will get him back, and he will destroy Wicked. And he doesn't care if no one goes with him. He would go alone, because I try not to cry, because he promised Minho something, and I'm trying to remember what that something is. But, so, he promised Minho something, I don't remember, which I'm really sorry about, but he promises Minho something, and he needs to keep that promise, so he decides he wants to go and find Minho and destroy Wicked. And he was willing to go alone, but his friends, Newt and Fry Pan and Eris, the girls, the captain of the right arm, or what the right arm was, they're Brenda and Jorge, they're just like, well, fuck it, we have nothing else to lose at this point, we might as well. And you never leave someone behind. So basically that's how the Scorch Trials movie ended. And I cried a lot. I'm just like, yo, Minho was not supposed to get captured, man. It was not supposed to be him. It was not supposed to be him. Like, Minho was not supposed to get captured. I'm pretty sure the Scorch Trials book ended with Thomas waking up in some white room or some shit. It wasn't Minho. It wasn't Minho. But, how the book ended, I really wish I remembered how the book ended, but I'm also this video is also really long, and you guys are probably bored. So I'll just end it here. So I'm really sorry I couldn't remember the end of the book, but I described the end of the movie to the best of my abilities. I tried comparing, it didn't go so well, but, you know, the Death Cure is going to be really good. The book was great. The movie is going to be something, because I have no idea what's going to happen, honestly. The book from the movie are basically two different stories, so I know a few things that will happen, but at the same time, the whole storyline of the movie is almost a completely different concept from the book. So I'm very interested to see how the Death Cure movie turns out, but I'm so excited for it in the same way. But yeah, so I guess I'll end it off here. I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and if not, oh well, I also told you, don't watch this. Disclaimer, no spoilers if you don't like them, blah blah blah. But yeah, so that's all for now. So don't forget to leave a like, don't forget to comment down below what I can do for videos in the future. And don't forget to subscribe to see more of our content. I don't know if Brian uploaded yesterday, so go check if he did. Hannah is uploading tomorrow. I know I said that in the last video that she said that she's uploading, but she put her part all in one video and is uploading it tomorrow instead. So don't forget to go check out her perspective of how she sees the Scorch Trials movie book comparison thing. But yeah, so that's all for now. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, don't forget to comment down below once again things I can do, and don't forget to subscribe to see more of our content. So thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next week. Bye!